So I'm back on my feet after a few days off with gout, and it's not too bad now. But anyway, I'm doing a little harvest this morning, and I've actually got time to take you around and show you the harvest progress, which I almost never have time to do. So that'll be a bit of a treat for you maybe, or a reason to skip it. Anyway, let's take a look round. So I always like to start off with the root veggies, and these are turnips. And they're going to very soon be finished, and I'll be replanting them with these lovely corn salads. But for now, I'm just picking these, perfect size, really lovely. And I always do them as multi-sown clumps and start them in module trays. You can see there's a bit of white fly, but you know, who cares about that on turnips? So that's a nice bunch, and you can eat the greens as well, although we're not eating them at the moment because we've just got an abundance of brassicas. It's a nice time in this actually. This bed was summer carrots. When the summer carrots finished, I put the turnips in, and then when the turnips finish, as I said, I'm going to put the corn salad in. That bed is interplanted with salad onions, but I won't be interplanting this with salad onions because it's a bit late now. And then of course this will all be out, this lamb's lettuce corn salad, by March time, which is perfect timing for carrots again. So next up, I'm picking carrots from my autumn carrot bed, and I've got a winter carrot bed and a spring carrot bed as well. I'm picking from the south side because they're bigger on the south than they are on the north. Some people really love picking potatoes. I actually prefer carrots because I like carrots more than I like potatoes. I'm really pleased with the size of these. You know, sometimes I grow really big carrots, more like that sort of size or bigger. But, you know, I do like this sort of size. You know, this is kind of my ideal really. And that just means not thinning as much really. And then of course these really tiny ones, these are just perfect for popping in the salad mixes. That's a nice selection of carrots. There's some good sized ones as well. And as I said, a bit smaller ones. But I do like slightly smaller ones for my salads, so I'm going to pick them from a later planted bed. So this is my youngest carrot bed, and this was planted late June, so they're just perfect size really for salads in here. Let's look at those little beauties. Perfection. And that's my winter, late winter and spring bed. So next up I'm doing the potatoes. And I just brought this tub from home because I want the spent potato compost for my early carrots. And I think these are Nicola in here. And yeah, I really like using spent potato compost for as a kind of sterile mulch layer to go on top of things like carrots. But these are looking really nice. Some of the early batches actually had a little bit of that kind of black spot on the surface, but these are looking great. So last year I did a lot of radishes at this time of year, but I've not bothered with radishes this year because we've just got so many different roots, and I just don't feel the need for them. You know, and I'm eating so many different brassicas as well, and radishes are in the Brassica family. So again, I just don't really feel the need for any more brassicas in my diet. And you know, radishes at this time of year, they're not anywhere near as good as radishes in the spring. So I kind of prefer to focus on that and eat carrots in my salads instead. This is lovely stuff, isn't it now? Nice and crumbly. You can see that this is going to be perfect for mulching the early carrots. And I like it for that because it's effectively sterile, and I don't want lots of weeds in my carrots. So now I'm on to the Jerusalem artichokes. I'm not going to pick a huge amount because really we want to save most of these for winter. But yeah, it's nice just to pick a few, and I'll probably have to root around in there a bit for them. Sometimes they kind of come out on the stems, but obviously not today. These are a firm favourite, so healthy. We like to get as many different sort of types of root as we can, and we just leave them in, just leave a few of them in. We probably left a few too many in this year, so maybe there was a bit too much green growth and not quite as many actual artichokes, but there'll be plenty. That's pretty good. And the only other root that we've got, I'm not going to harvest it today, are these Yakon. And you know, these are just best harvested when the foliage has died back after the first frost. They are hypersensitive to frost, these plants as well, but I'm really looking forward to harvesting these because they're such a lovely root. So crispy, like a cross between a pear and an apple, slightly less sweet, really good for you. So I do still have quite a lot of scrappy beetroot still to be harvested, but I don't actually need to pick it right now. I've got loads in store, and I've just got loads of boxes that I just filled up from clearing beds in the last 2 weeks, so those are the ones we're picking or using in this week's harvest. So next up, I like to pick the alliums, and we don't have a lot because the vast majority are in store now. All the garlic's in store, all the onions are in store, but we'd have loads of salad onions, and yeah, I absolutely love salad onions. Although they do take a lot of clean up. That should be, that's the kind of what Debbie and I get through in a week. So next up, I like to pick the brassicas. So I start with these cabbages, and I just love the fact that we've got loads of these little red cabbages this year, which are just perfect for a mini harvest like the one we're doing today. But some nice kale at the back there. But this is the kale bed I'm concentrating on at the moment because it's just so lush. There's the root veggies, all made up, and some big carrots and some little parsnips to go with them. And just made a start on a few bits and pieces of the fruit. I won't be able to show you all the fruit actually, but we've got a lovely selection of apples, really gorgeous. We've got Brabants, Jonah Gold, and some unknown variety. And yeah, absolutely stunning apples at this time of year. Really great. Next up, I like to do the Asian greens, and we've got tatsoi down here and red pak choi down here. And I've got some more red pak choi there, and that is not looking quite so good because this bed is kind of infested with tiny snails. So this is actually the one I'm going to be harvesting because I want to try and get rid of those little snails. And then we'll be on to the spinach. So we have a lot of spinach coming ready now, which is just great. One of the most common questions I get is, how do you manage slugs and snails? Well, one of the tricks is just to harvest you know, and clear the soil so you can see the soil. Get into the hearts of every plant as you're harvesting them and look for the slugs and the snails. And I've already cleared about 6 snails and 2 caterpillars out of this bed while I've been harvesting. So I have 3 beds that I'm harvesting from. So if you try and take a bed like this down to a bed like that once every 3 weeks, clear the soil, check the hearts, find the snails and make room for the onions that are interplanted. So I picked a few lettuces from home, from the hanging baskets, but most of the lettuce I'm picking from this bed, and this is the only bed I've actually got on the allotment. But I've got loads in the polytunnel that are coming along nicely and probably be ready in 2 weeks' time. And yeah, they're looking really nice. And I've also got some lettuces in this cold frame that I've just planted, just little tiny seedlings. So I think I'm finished. I'll just talk you through what I've got. So I've got my little salad carrots, my mixed root boxes, and a few chili peppers in there, apples and pears, grapes from the shop, parsnips, salad boxes, loads of salad boxes. New for this week, we've got winter purslane or miner's lettuce or Claytonia, whichever way you want to describe it. Really lovely. I like to pick it in clumps, and when I put it in the salad boxes I kind of take a clump of it like that and kind of include it in the box, so it's all together like that. And salad rocket, similar sort of thing, stick that in the box. And then yeah, so I've got swapped a few carrots for a pumpkin. I've got a big trumpetino at the back here, and I've got tomatoes which I ripened off the vine at home. So I'll make those up into salad boxes in a couple of minutes. Well, that's not bad for a micro harvest day. And then down here on the cooking greens table, we've got big boxes of spinach. Absolutely gorgeous, so crunchy, this spinach, really lovely. Mixed Asian greens, tatsoi, red pak choi, mixed Brassica greens, and then I've got little red cabbage and kale leaves. And then this is one of our boxes. We've got peas, we've got florets. We don't actually have any cauliflower or anything like that at the moment, so we're just on these little florets and little fresh peas. So again, that's pretty nice. That's what we ended up with. And when I'm making up the lettuces, what I like to do is put them in one of those bags you can get for the washing machine, and they're really useful for spinning your veggies. So I just load them all up, spin them all around, shake the loose water off, and they're just perfect then for putting in the salads, and they're nice and moist. And while I'm packing them up like this, they just dry off in the wind, and there's not much sun at the moment, and they keep for about 7 days, nice and fresh. So I hope you enjoyed that little video. My name's Steve, this is the Seaside Kitchen Garden and Allotment channel, and I'll see you soon.